Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Drew back again with another video for all you American soccer fans out there. And in this one, we're going to be talking about the final update actually, to this roster for the CONCACAF Nations League that Greg Berhalter has selected. These next two games, of course, against Canada and Cuba. We're going to talk about the players who have joined the team and the players who have left the team. And we're also going to talk about the possibility of maybe wanting the USA to lose against Canada once again, and whether or not that'll be a good idea. All of this coming up for you guys right now. But of course, as always, before we get started, if you guys love soccer and you want to see it get the growth and respect it deserves in this country, and you want to be part of that change, then be sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and might as well hit that like button as well while you're down there. Help support the channel. And you can also follow me here on Instagram and Twitter. Alright, let's get to this damn roster. Alright, I know you guys are all mainly here probably to bitch about this roster, probably, throw some more shade and more, fire, fuel to the fire at Greg Berhalter. But before we do get to that, that time in the video, let's go ahead and congratulate Seattle Sounders for winning their second MLS Cup title. Congrats, it was a phenomenal game. I'm really mad I couldn't really do my annual live stream for it, but I did get to watch it at a restaurant for a little bit. What I can say real quick off the top of my head, Seattle Sounders, like I said, totally dominated this game, dominated the attacking sense, kind of sloppy with their passing a bit in the first half, but came back super strong in the second half, scoring 3 goals, and then finally, Josie Altidore scoring a beautiful goal as well for Toronto, a consolation goal, might I add, but it was good to see Josie on the score sheet. I know he was really bummed out he couldn't start this whole game. It could have been probably a game changer for Toronto, but maybe not as big because I think Seattle was just way too strong for Toronto this time around. Beautiful game, beautiful freaking fan atmosphere. That was an insane atmosphere. It was insane to see on TV. I couldn't only imagine how it was, in person. All the parades, the marching, the fan chanting. Amazing. What an amazing city. What an amazing support that this club has. So congrats to them. Totally deserved. It's good to see Seattle winning stuff yet again here for MLS. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this freaking roster, man. So if you guys missed my previous video before, we did go ahead and talk about the roster when it was named a couple days ago. But of course, as many of you know probably, that Greg Berhalter was waiting to update his final roster, to submit his final roster, his final updated roster after the MLS Cup final, because there were players who we did want to call up, players like Christian Roldan, who did get a call up as well, Jordan Morris, a player who I really am excited to see here on this roster. He's going to have a lot more responsibility now, but I'll get to that in a second. And also Michael Bradley was also called up, but Michael Bradley was pulled out. He did pull out of the camp because of an injury he picked up in the MLS Cup final, so he was not on the final squad. And also, speaking of injuries, we also got a major injury to the team, which I'm sure you guys already know. That being, of course, Christian Pulisic having a hip injury he picked up this over the past weekend against Crystal Palace for Chelsea when he was playing this weekend. It's actually a really big shame because he did score again for Chelsea again. What is it, third or fourth game in a row that he has scored for Chelsea. So he's in really good form. I'm really upset that he won't be in this roster, but I'm also kind of excited because, give the dude a break. He doesn't deserve to be on this freaking trash squad right now, bro. He does not deserve it. And I really am worried that his injury proneness will come into effect again. Hopefully not, though, because he has been in tremendous form for Chelsea as of late. And I hope after he recovers from this injury, he gets back to 100% and back to his perfect form that he has been in. And then obviously that will eventually translate or hopefully transfer over to his national team form as well. So, those are 2 major updates to this roster, the injury updates, might I add. But also talking about injured players, let's go ahead and talk about Zach Steffen. You guys know I freaking rep Zach Steffen. You guys know I love Zach Steffen. He's probably my favorite American soccer player right now, right next to Christian Pulisic and Yazi Zardes. Just kidding. Just kidding about that last one. But he is one of my favorite soccer players, Zach Steffen. And, he was not named to this roster earlier on a couple days ago because of a slight, knee tendonitis injury he had. That's why he rejected the call-up. But as to many fans' surprises, and everyone was wondering, dude, what the heck? He starts in the goal for Fortuna Dusseldorf in the Bundesliga, I was like, dude, this is what's going on here. Something's happening. But maybe he, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was feeling some pressure in his legs and his knee, and he was like, you know what? It kind of flared up, and then after that, it kind of went away. He kind of recovered a bit, and then maybe it was too late to get the call up again from Greg Berhalter, because Greg Berhalter's pretty stubborn. But whatever. I'm gonna give Zach Steffen the benefit of the doubt. Good for him as well not to be on this terrible roster. That only means that Zach Steffen is out of this roster, so that only means Brad Guzan is going to be starting probably both these games. And it's a shame because I would like to see Matt Turner get a chance to shine and show his skills here on the national team front, alongside Sean Johnson as well, probably on the bench watching Brad Guzan fumble a bunch of balls that are shot at him in goal. So that's that. Now back to Jordan Morris, what I was saying earlier about him having a lot more responsibility. Jordan Morris has had one of his, probably the season of his life this past year, winning the MLS Cup with Seattle Sounders. He played a huge part in getting that victory for Seattle and getting that cup along the way. He helped pave the way to that victory earned. So now, his rejuvenated season mostly coming down to, his coach, switching his position a bit, not really making him a main striker down the middle, but playing him more on the wings. And that's obviously where Christian Pulisic plays, the most during his playing time. But sometimes Christian Pulisic will play down the middle for Greg Berhalter because Greg Berhalter is kind of fucking dumb. But if Jordan Morris is the star man on the right or left flank, which he might have to be against Canada and Cuba, especially Canada, I think he's going to have a lot more responsibility. He's going to have a lot more weight on his shoulders now that Christian Pulisic is not on the team. But I'm sure people will be excited to see Sergiño Dest have some more attack-minded plays. Sergiño Dest is an attack-minded player, so that also is a plus for us going forward. Other than that, I'm pretty sure Yazi Zardes is going to start both of these games because he's a Columbus Crew boy. Will Trapp still in here, same shit as usual is what I'm trying to say. I know some of you guys are excited that Michael Bradley is not on this roster, and that's cool. I don't mind that as well. I'm hoping to see maybe Jackson Ewell get some playing time over Will Trapp, but I'm sure it'll be Alfredo Morales and Will Trapp probably if they want to play with an anchor in midfield with two defensive midfielders. And I'm going to go ahead and probably say it's going to be Will Trapp and Morales, which I'm excited for. I'm excited for Morales because he does deserve this call-up. He's a really rough player and really tough player that we need in midfield. Like, you guys know I'm big on controlling the midfield, and I feel like Alfredo Morales gives us some muscle in midfield, some stuff that freaking Bradley and Will Trapp do not offer us. So that's going to be interesting to see. But, talking about this game against Canada, I'm pretty sure we're going to win the game against Cuba. But let's go ahead and talk about this game about Canada. It's a question I asked earlier in the video. Should we want the USA to lose against Canada? I saw some people talking about it on Twitter when they released the roster, saying, I hope we lose to Canada because it'll be a wake-up call to the Federation. And to that I say, it's not going to happen. I'm sure we'll lose, but I doubt that a loss again against Canada will, send any sort of repercussions down upwards to the Federation. I think they're just way too stubborn, way too blind, and way too ignorant to see the real problems that are happening here with the squad. The majority of this team is mostly MLS players, and that's a lot of hate, a lot of criticism that this team has gotten so far because it's mostly all MLS oriented players. And a lot of people want to see more players represented from around the world. All these American players who are playing their game outside of MLS, outside of America, trying something different, trying to prove themselves elsewhere. Those players really deserve to be looked at again, or looked at even more, looked at harder by Greg Berhalter and the Federation. Players like Simon Moore, Dwayne Holmes, Matt Miazga, players like of that caliber, like Haji Wright. What happened to Haji Wright? Like, we need players like that to be really considered here for national team call-ups. They're really players who need to be followed a little more closely. Because I feel like they can offer us more depth to this team, which is what this team really, really lacks. We lack depth in strikers. We lack depth in fullbacks. We lack depth almost everywhere. And I really hope that I'm on the same page as well. I think if we lose, I would be happy because I feel like this is what we deserve. If we're gonna play this game that we're playing right now, if we're gonna stick with this manager that we have right now, this guy who's absolutely clueless, not really too good with formation or tactics against bigger opposition, a manager who gets outcoached a lot, and who's very stubborn and ignorant with his his MLS choice of squads. Like, if we're gonna stick with that, then we deserve to be losing time and time again. We deserve to lose against Canada. We deserve to get a freaking draw against Cuba, which probably could happen. Depends. If we lose against Canada, we might have morale down a lot, and then we'll probably have a draw against Cuba, and then that will be absolutely insane if we don't win any of these games. And that'll be bad for us to get out of, in terms of the table. We're not going to get out of the table and not get into the next round. If we want to get to the next round, basically, we have to win both of these games and have a really, really high goal differential as well. But I doubt that's going to happen. And I really hope it kind of doesn't. One, because it's Nations League, I really don't give a crap about it. And two, because we need more wake-up calls here for the USA national team. We need more of this. I mean, there's managers out there who are way light years ahead of Greg Berhalter who would do wonders for this team. But if it wasn't for the ignorance and the stubbornness of the Federation and the corruptness, it wouldn't, we'd be in a better place, national team-wise. And maybe even youth team-wise. That's also something that's very crucial as well. We need to have better development for our teams, for our youth players. That way they grow up, they get older, and they become our senior players. And then we still have that core group of good players. So, I don't know. I'm gonna watch these games, obviously, and I'm gonna review the games, preview the games for you guys here on the channel. So be sure you subscribe. But for the most part, I'm not excited to watch this. I'm really, really not excited to watch this. It's been a long time since I've been this dissatisfied and disinterested in watching a USA game. Like, it's been, I can't even remember the last time I felt this way watching a game. I really don't remember. Maybe the first game after we failed to qualify for the World Cup, I was not in it at all. But this game, these two games, especially the Canada game, it's going to be bad, I think. And I'm really not excited to see this terrible tactical setup that Greg Berhalter is going to have. But like I said, I'm going to preview the games for you guys anyway. We're going to probably have a preview against Canada probably on the 14th of November. The game's on the 15th, but on the 14th, I will upload a video talking to you guys about, my squad, my lineup predictions, who I think will start and who I want to start, as like I usually do. So be sure you guys are subscribed so you guys make sure you keep up with that sort of content coming up really soon. But that's all I really have to say about this. I don't mind if they lose. I kind of want them to lose. If that's unpatriotic of me, then so be it. But I think we need more wake-up calls for this federation to see the real problems. So let me know your thoughts down below on what you guys think. Do you want us to lose as well? And do you guys think the additions to this squad are okay? Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for kicking it with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.